I'm Christina Mendonça. The United States may account for 5% of the world's population, but it consumes 80% of the prescription opioids. And that doesn't count street opioids like heroin that are being used regularly. It's very difficult to treat this addicted population, which is why we have an epidemic in the country right now. But there is a medication that is having a significant impact. It's not a new medication, and it's being used mostly right now behind prison and jail walls.
How are you doing?
Good today, and yourself?
It's been a few months since Griff was released from jail. He's working, putting his life back together, and credits this shot that he gets once a month
3 stick, okay? 1, 2, 3 stick.
for helping him kick a 20-year heroin addiction.
Because I've been through the other programs. I've done methadone, I've done Suboxone, been through all those treatment things, and it's not like this.
Every 28 days, he gets a shot of Vivitrol, and both the desire for and the effect of heroin evaporates.
I don't understand. I've heard it's been like, it came about like 10 years ago, but I've never heard about it until this time I was incarcerated.
Griff and dozens of men and women before him heard about Vivitrol at the Sacramento County Jail.
We have a lot of people that have seen long-term success.
Lieutenant Brad Rose brought the use of Vivitrol to the jail's reentry program after seeing its success back east. Inmates start the shots while still in jail and continue them once they're out.
Well, I'd seen the, signs posted around the jail, so I was kind of interested in it. I talked to my counselor about it, then a deputy came up, talked to me about it, and it sounded like a good fit.
Douglas Wishart is about to start the program.
So far, I talked to one other guy. He said after he got the injection for the first few days that he felt a little irritated, but after that he felt great. He stopped thinking about, I think his was opiates, and he stopped thinking about that. He started feeling normal again.
Decreased cravings, what they call the drug dreams, a huge reduction in those, if not fully eliminated.
The shots and the counseling start in jail and transition to a clinic in downtown Sacramento called WellSpace.
Very surprised at how well it works. Not anymore, but I used to be very surprised at how well it worked.
Dr. Sean Benedict runs one of the largest Vivitrol programs in the state at WellSpace.
And why were you so surprised?
Because there's always been a search for a magic bullet, right? The thing that works for everybody, the thing that doesn't have the stigma attached, the thing that doesn't interfere with your life. You know, the search for this thing that works for everybody. Most of my experience is there are no magic bullets. My experience with Vivitrol is it's not a magic bullet, but it's pretty close.
Vivitrol isn't widely marketed, but it's been around a long time. Oral naltrexone was first approved by the FDA in 1984 for opioid addiction, but it came in a daily dose pill. And opioid addiction wasn't nearly the issue it is today. In 1994, it was approved for alcohol addiction, again in a daily pill form. It wasn't until 2009 that the injectable monthly dose was approved. And it's that monthly dose that seems to make all the difference.
So once you get your courage up and get in there and take your shot, you basically have a month of guaranteed sobriety.
Vivitrol controls both the craving and the effects of opioids. It's what's called a bully molecule, binding to the brain's receptors and not allowing opioids to pass.
If you get a shot of Vivitrol on Monday and decide to try heroin on Thursday, it's not going to work. And that is what I like to call the economic incentives, because people aren't going to go continue to buy drugs that aren't going to work.
What's the recidivism rate to drugs?
So recidivism to alcohol or opiates is about 20%. And that is pretty low compared to people who go through treatment without medication assistance. The relapse rate is probably closer to 70%.
Here's the catch with Vivitrol. You must be fully detoxed before your first shot or be thrown into an immediate and painful withdrawal, which is why program managers say inmates are such good candidates.
Because they've had to detox for good or for ill behind the walls, you know, we have a chance to say, hey, we can get you some help before you leave, and we'll pick it up afterwards and continue to help you once you're released.
The other catch is that it's expensive, about $800 a shot. County and federal funding covers the inmate reentry program, but some private insurance companies are reluctant to cover the cost. Dr. Benedict hopes that changes with proven success of the Sacramento County Sheriff's Program.
It's combining the law enforcement side and the treatment side working together, which is pretty unique. I'm not aware of too many places on the West Coast that are doing that.
People that can't remain sober can't stay employed, can't stay in school. So when we can get over that speed bump, then we see we're putting productive people outside of our facility and back into our communities.
Is it too dramatic to say that it's like saved your life?
Vivitrol takes away all that control that it would put in that the opiate puts in your head, trying to make yourself so you'll go use it again. I mean, it stops. I mean, if that door wasn't there, you wouldn't think about going out that door. And so, yeah, it definitely has saved my life.
You heard Dr. Benedict say that Vivitrol is not a magic bullet. People with liver disease are not recommended to take the medication, and it does require intense counseling along with the shots in order to have a long-lasting impact. People on Vivitrol have to wear a medical ID bracelet that tells first responders not to give them opioids if they're in an accident or a car wreck. I'll be posting in the coming days raw interviews with the inmates and the doctor and the lieutenant, and you can always reach out to me through the KFBK.com website.